Just going to fall back on stupidity, and that's where we are now. Last night, speaking of stupidity, last night CNN had a 20-minute interview with Lavar Ball. Lavar Ball is this loudmouth moron whose child, Lonzo Ball, plays for the is that his name? Yeah, Lonzo Ball. He plays for the Lakers, and he has a garbage jump shot. He's basically benched because he's shooting 30% from the field. He's just awful. It's amazing to me you get drafted not knowing how to shoot a basketball. Like, this seems to me the number one priority. But in any case, his father, Lavar, had started, he's made a name for Lonzo basically by being a loudmouth and saying his son is better than Michael Jordan, which is absurd. Michael Jordan could shoot and play defense. And Lavar Ball then took on Donald Trump. So his other son, LeAngelo, went to China and started shoplifting in China, which is a genius move. And Trump got him free. And then Trump did what Trump does. He said, I want to thank you. And LeAngelo Ball gave him a thank you, but Lavar Ball did not. Instead, Lavar Ball ripped on President Trump, which led President Trump to suggest that he should have left LeAngelo in jail in China, which, of course, is very mature. And then CNN decided that it was necessary to have a 20-minute interview with Lavar Ball, which is just, I'll just play you some of this, and you'll see how stupid the media are. And then you wonder why we can't take serious issues seriously, because the same people who are discussing the quote-unquote serious issues are interviewing Lavar Ball for 20 minutes.
I would say thank you if he would have put him on his plane and took him home. Then I would have said, thank you, Mr. Trump, for taking my boys out of China and bringing them back to the U.S. There's a lot of room on that plane. I would have said, thank you kindly for that.
So, because he didn't take them home on the plane, no thank you.
Well, I'm just saying, that's how I would say thank you. I'm just saying, you might say thank you a different way. You just say thank you like it's any kind of word.
It's not how you'll say thank you, it's when you'll say thank you.
I can tell you don't mean nothing about it.
What now? So President Trump gets them out of jail in China, but the problem is the plane ride. So Lavar Ball, obviously a member of higher intelligence at work. Even Shannon Sharpe, who has come in for serious criticism on the Ben Shapiro show before, even he says, Lavar, you're being an idiot.
I can assure you, even the people that dislike President Trump the most would agree that Lavar Ball is in the wrong in this situation. I guarantee you that. You might dislike what he's done, what he said, and who he is, but what he had some effect on these kids coming home.
It sure seemed like it.
Who was your son? Your son, the one that got President Trump involved in this.
You're right.
You should have been over there opening up 15, 25 pop-up stores, hopefully selling thousands and thousands pairs of sneakers. But your son couldn't keep his hands to himself.
Good for Shannon Sharpe. Okay, so I mean, when even Shannon Sharpe is critiquing your intelligence, then you know that you've really fallen low, Lavar Ball. So well done, media, for 20 minutes. 20 minutes. I mean, my God, what a desert wasteland cable television has become when Lavar Ball can fill 20 minutes. On this date, yesterday on this date in 1863, Abraham Lincoln gave a very famous speech. He gave a speech that we all know as the Gettysburg Address. Right, this took place on this date, this specific date, November 19th, 1863, so yesterday. And in it, he declared that we as a union were going to have to stand together, and that the better angels angels of our nature were going to bring the country together, and that we have to not sacrifice, these people should not have sacrificed their lives in vain. That has been matched only by Donald Trump. So Donald Trump says he can be the most presidential president outside of Abraham Lincoln. And I think he proved that yesterday when he tweeted this about Lavar Ball. So remember, Lavar Ball's son, LeAngelo, I don't know what the obsession is in the family with law. It's Lavar, LeAngelo, and what's the name of the kid? Lorenzo? So in any case, the letter L is big there. Lavar, his son, LeAngelo, was arrested in China for shoplifting. And as you recall, Trump got him out of prison and then demanded a thank you, to which the son acquiesced. And I said at the time, like, this is kind of babyish that the president wants a thank you for getting an American citizen out of prison in China. But in any case, the son said thank you. Well, then they asked Lavar about it. And Lavar said, I'm not going to thank President Trump. I'm not going to thank him because Lavar is also a member of higher intelligence. He obviously is a high IQ guy. And so what he said is, Trump didn't visit my son in prison. Well, he got him out, so you probably should say thank you. But then eloquent Trump showed up. So eloquent Trump tweeted yesterday, now that the 3 basketball players are out of China and saved from years in jail, Lavar Ball, the father of LeAngelo, is unaccepting of what I did for his son, and that shoplifting is no big deal. I should have left them in jail. Exclamation point. Ah, eloquent Trump. Do love this stuff. No, you shouldn't have left him in jail just because daddy wasn't grateful to you. That's not the way the presidency works. I'm going to talk about why this is important in just a second, but it was pretty epic Trump yesterday. And you just wonder, was he super bored yesterday? He didn't like the football? Like, what was going on with him yesterday? He was back from his trip and he had a lot to get off his chest. That was not the only eloquent Trump yesterday. He also tweeted further about Lavar Ball. He tweeted, shoplifting is a very big deal in China, as it should be, 5 to 10 years in jail, but not to Father Lavar. Should have gotten his son out during my next trip to China instead. China told them why they were released. Very ungrateful, exclamation point. So he should have left them in jail for a few more months because daddy was mean to Trump. Okay, so one thing here. So a lot of people who are Trump supporters find this stuff absolutely hilarious. It is hilarious, but it's hilarious and also tragic because, again, yesterday was the anniversary of the Gettysburg Address. Eloquent Trump. Yeah. Mm-hmm. Now, the left obviously goes crazy whenever Trump does any of this sort of stuff. So Brian Stelter on CNN says something ridiculous. He says this is race baiting.
Think about this. He's just recently let the NFL kneeling controversy start to subside, start to fade away. And now here he is calling out these players and the families again. I think it's immature at best, Fred, but it's really race baiting at worst. Mm-hmm. That's going to be debated. That's going to be argued about. But I want to put that on the table. It sure looks like race baiting to a lot of people. And by the way, the reason why I think these tweets are important is because they are a serious look.
Okay, so it's race baiting. Okay, first of all, I'll show you it's not race baiting. So more eloquent Trump. Trump was very eloquent yesterday. I mean, he put on his cravat, he grabbed his pipe, he fired up the handle, and he ended up tweeting out this one too. This one about Jeff Flake. So Jeff Flake, of course, is the senator from Arizona. He's not running for re-election. He said that he thinks that Trump is basically the end of the Republican Party. And here's what he tweeted. More eloquent Trump. Senator Jeff Flake he wrote flaky, but the Y is in parentheses, who was unelectable in the great state of Arizona, quit race, anemic polls, was caught purposely on Mike is spelled M-I-K-E, saying bad things about your favorite president. He'll be a no on tax cuts because his political career anyway is quote-unquote toast. There's so much that is glorious about this tweet. First of all, the revolutionary use of the scare quotes is, I don't know why toast is in scare quotes. I don't know why Mike is in scare quotes. I don't know why Mike is spelled M-I-K-E as opposed to M-I-C. I don't know why Jeff Flake was on top of some dude named Mike. That's weird. And I don't know why Jeff Flake was on top of that dude named Mike saying bad things about my favorite president, Abraham Lincoln. I don't know why Jeff Flake was ripping on Abraham Lincoln. I do love that Trump calls himself your favorite president. He has the lowest poll numbers of any president in American history at this point in his presidency. Astonishingly grand. Favorite current president. That's true. Thank you, Austin. It's true. He is my favorite current president. I don't know of any other current presidents. So there was Trump on Jeff Flake. So lots of eloquence happening yesterday. The reason that I'm bringing all of this up is because a lot of people on the right, they go, this is why Trump wins. He wins because of these tweets. Winning, epic winning, MAGA, underwater, upside down, 365-degree, 190,000 IQ, underwater, upside down, hungry hippos' chests. That is what they say. Because you're talking about it today, aren't you? Right, I'm talking about it today. That's true. You're right. I will talk about what the President of the United States says. The reason why this is a problem, folks, is for two reasons. One, and this is all coming from a conservative point of view. One, it's not great for the country when the President of the United States is threatening to leave American citizens overseas in Chinese custody because daddy was mean to him. That's not a great thing. If Obama did that, we'd all go nuts, and rightly so. Number two, Donald Trump is trying to make the last-ditch push for a tax cut right now, for serious tax cut legislation before Thanksgiving or before Christmas. One of the votes he's going to need is the vote of Senator Jeff Flake. And now he is saying that Jeff Flake is going to vote against the tax cuts, giving him full ability to vote against the tax cuts. Like, this, if you want good legislation to pass, you know what would help? If the President of the United States weren't the dog from Up, chasing every single squirrel. His closing argument on health care reform, if you recall, was that Jeff Sessions was a poopy head. His closing argument on the second round of health care reform is that the NFL players should stop kneeling. And now his closing argument on tax reform is that he should have left a basketball player in China under custody and that a particular senator should be, he'll rip on a particular senator and tell him to vote no on tax cuts because he's mean to him. Like, I just don't, like, why? And that wasn't it. Then he went after Marshawn Lynch today. So Marshawn Lynch is fully fledged adult. I mean, Marshawn Lynch, the running back for the Oakland Raiders, he used to play for the Seattle Seahawks. I used to do a show up in Seattle. And so we followed Marshawn Lynch closely. Marshawn Lynch is one of the stupider members of the human race. He's a very, very dumb individual. And Marshawn Lynch, I mean, he's been famous for this for a long time. And before anybody says that this is something racial, I say that people are dumb cross-racially all the time. Marshawn Lynch is just objectively speaking a dumb. And Marshawn Lynch yesterday sat during the United States national anthem and then stood for the Mexican national anthem, which makes no sense at all. Okay, whatever you say about the American national anthem, Mexico is a garbage government. I mean, the government there has been a disaster for years and years and years and years. I mean, the death rate in Mexico City is higher than in any other industrialized city in the world. I mean, it's astonishing. But he's standing for the Mexican national anthem for some odd reason. So he's a genius. But Trump feels the need to tweet about that, right? So here's Trump tweeting about that. So Trump tweeted about Marshawn Lynch. It says, Marshawn Lynch of the NFL's Oakland Raiders stands for the Mexican anthem and sits down to booze for our national anthem. Great disrespect. Next time, NFL should suspend him for remainder of season. Attendance and ratings way down. Thank you, President Trump. Like, I know that this is a fight you want to keep fighting because you think it's a political winner for you. The reason that I'm upset about this is not just because it's time to make a final legislative push. It's because he has 43 million Twitter followers. 43 million. He's the president of the United States. He has the ability to gather the media flies like a lamp, right? I mean, it's an amazing thing. And when he uses his Twitter for good, then that is a wonderful thing. I will show you him using his Twitter for good. So yesterday, there's a Border Patrol agent who was murdered in an attack on the border. And this is according to NBC DFW. They said, authorities are searching Texas's Big Bend area for potential suspects and witnesses after U.S. Customs and Border Protection agent was fatally injured responding to activity there. Border Patrol officials said the agents were